Today's patio chat is being brought to you locally by Westridge Furniture in Delphus. See it all at your finer outdoor furniture store.
Well, the Allen County Museum has been having some great exhibits, and we've got our new one opening up soon. In fact, next week. Today, to tell us more about it, she's the director of the Allen County Museum, Christine Fowler-Shear. And thanks for coming today.
Thanks for coming. It's beautiful out today.
Isn't it nice to have patio chat out here?
I like it.
Yeah, the weather's nice, so it's fun to talk about things happening in town. And the museum always is having things happening. I mean, it's always good to go visit, right, to begin with.
It's always good to go visit, yes.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But you have something new coming up, a new exhibit. So tell us about this.
So it's a new exhibit. It's called The Art of Domesticity, and it's an interesting exhibit because half of the exhibit is pulled from our permanent collection.
Oh, neat.
So the first half of the exhibit will be objects from the collection, kind of creating these vignettes of domestic interiors that highlight women's work, such as, samplers, quilts, different things like that. And then after you get through that section, you will see 5 contemporary Ohio female artists who actually use that same concept, but do it in a contemporary way, whether it be the subject matter or the materials that they're using, and kind of just showing how domestic has evolved over time, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we talking, you mentioned quilts and things. Are we talking like all different mediums of art?
All different mediums. So the interesting thing about the 18th and 19th century is, the home was the women's domain, of course. And so, if you lived at home or you worked at home, you would also try to create a very nice home, so you would make things. And so that was deemed appropriate for women to do. So there's quilts, there's samplers, there's painting on porcelain, different types of things that happen that women do that we can still do today, right? And then these artists have just kind of, the contemporaries have just sort of turned it into a fine art finally. So it's kind of looking at both the domestic interior and also domestic objects. So
But they're having a little bit of fun with it too, because I know we have a picture of it's a teapot, I guess,
Yes.
but it's a wedding dress and the wedding cake's on top.
Yes, yeah. So the contemporary artist, it's really interesting. We have an artist from Philadelphia who makes irons out of glass, irons,
Really?
to iron clothes. Yes. And so it's just kind of using these traditional media that were considered to be acceptable for women to use, but now using them in very unique ways with the contemporary ones. And we've actually found some gorgeous furniture and stuff that we've pulled out of the permanent collection to kind of help create these vignettes. And so we're just really excited to have the opportunity to do both.
Right, yeah. It must be exciting the museum is big, but
is.
it's only so big. You guys have a lot of things. I don't know where your storage is at, but, to bring some of this stuff out and oh, look, people can see this, right?
Right. And it's interesting, too, because, even if you just move things in a museum to a different spot, it looks like it's new in some respects. But, we have a lot of objects. And so I hope that over the, each year that we do exhibits and stuff, every chance we get to pull things from the permanent collection, we will, just because we feel like it's important to also kind of show what we have and the donations we've received over the years and the objects that have been left to us in our care.
Yeah,
So.
I was going to say, how do you get these things? But that's what happens. People donate.
They do, but I do need to say that we do have a donation freeze going on right now. So don't show up with anything today. But a lot of the objects have been donated. A lot of them belong to families from the area. We're in the process of kind of seeing what all we have and seeing what we might still need so that we don't, just take everything that comes in. But
Right, yeah.
although, we would love to, but we can't.
It makes sense. Well, it makes sense to keep it more like people from the area
Yes.
too, and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Not someone from grandma, way far away.
Right, and if you've already got a sewing machine from 1920, do you need another one? And so it's just a lot. We do have a lot of objects. It is in storage. We are at that point now where we kind of have to be strategic about what we do moving forward. But the stuff that we do have is amazing, and we're just really happy to show it off. So
All right. So it opens on the 17th, right?
it does, yes.
And how long does it run? So
It runs till November 10th. We are not having an opening reception for this one because I found out that there's this thing called the fair or something. I'm just kidding.
Yes, really?
I'm just totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. So anyways, I know that the fair is this weekend. We actually are going to do an artist reception in September.
Okay.
So 4 of the 5 artists will hopefully be in attendance that night. And so if you come, you'll get to actually talk to some of the contemporary artists, and we're going to just kind of push it back a few weeks.
All right. This sounds like a really neat exhibit. Thank you very much for coming today and telling us about it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me.
All right, don't go away. We'll look at the weather next.